Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and just wanted to share a few shift knobs that I have laying around and also a new one that I got. And so we'll start with this one. This is what the 99 through '04 Mustangs came with, kind of factory ones, V6s, some of the GTs and everything. It was kind of the standard knob, and I remember getting one of these in high school. I really liked the way that it felt because I had a 97 V6, which had like the Fox body shift knob, basically is what those still had. And so I really liked this shift knob. It feels good in the hand, and I think they did a really good job designing it. And so next, this is one that's similar to that. The only difference is that it's leather wrapped. And what's really cool is the Cobra R1 is just like this, only it does have the 6-speed layout on the top. And this was what was on my '01 GT when I first got it, was one just like this. And if you do take the stitching off and the leather when it's worn out, it is just the regular one. And so I got a new one of these. And so here's the part number for it. They're available. I think I paid something like $30-something for it, so they're not that expensive. And this is packaged. It looks like a newer package even, so they probably are continuing to make these, even though it looks like the older ones. So this was really nice when I got it out. You could just see the nice new leather look to it. And it's engraved really deep. If you saw the other one, the numbers were kind of wearing down almost flat. And so has a good smell to it, has a good look to it, has a good feel to it. Something that's a nice upgrade if you want to do something to refurbish your car. It's something that you're going to touch every time you drive the car, and it's a huge part of the experience. So shift knobs, they do have a lot to do with how you're going to experience the car, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, we'll set this one aside. Next, we'll look at the Terminator one. This is the one that came off of my car, and I have this one on most of the time, except for the one that I'll show you in a minute. And so it's just your average Terminator one. And these actually, when they stopped making them, they went through the roof on price, and so they were going $300-400 for them, even used. This one's in very good condition otherwise, and stitching's good. It doesn't have too much wear and tear on it. My car had 39,000 miles when I got it, and it had a different shift knob on it, and so luckily I asked for this one, and he gave it to me as well, so I didn't have to track one down. But Late Model Restoration did a remake on it, and so the way you can tell is the cap floats up really tall on the top. It looks like it's a stack of quarters, and so if you see one, you'll know the difference. But I did pick up one that was a Ford OEM one. Same thing as the other one. You can see the stitching and the color of the leather when it hasn't had anything on it is a little bit more dull looking, and this is made in Mexico. The original ones, though, at the time, like the OEM factory ones, were in a box. So if they came like this, they still are a Ford product and everything, and they're pretty much the same thing. But when they started showing up in the plastic case like this, I think that was a little bit later as it was produced. This one even had a year on the back of it, which was a little bit later than '03, '04. So anyway, it is the otherwise factory Terminator knob, so I'm glad I have one of those. I got it while they were good prices. Here's one that I also bought for my Mach 1. So this is the aluminum shift knob, and this one, as you can see, here's the part number for it. This was another one that I picked up. I sold my Mach 1's original one. Or actually, I kind of gave it to my cousin when he bought a Bullitt Mustang, and it didn't have the original shifter. And so this says made in the UK, which I thought was kind of interesting. But if you want to research this on eBay and put in part numbers and such and UPCs, you can kind of do that on a saved search, and then when one pops up, it'll notify you. So that's kind of a good way if you're looking for some of these older parts. But I really like the Mach 1 shift knob. I had the packaging, so I put this back in it for that, but this is what's on my Mach 1 right now, and it has a good feel to it, and it's something that I was looking at on my Mach 1 the other day and kind of taking for granted. I'm like, man, this has such a cool setup with the aluminum shift ball and everything when you look in the window. You just get used to it. But shift knobs are something that are cool. You can kind of switch out very easily. This yellow one came from my friend, and he had a Screaming Yellow Terminator and had sold the car and just said, 20 bucks or whatever, and I didn't really need it, but I thought, hey, this is cool. It has the Terminator, you know, has the snake logo on it and everything, and so I bought it from him, and it was kind of a cool thing. I haven't really run it on the car yet, so maybe I'll put this one on and drive around. And this is nice that it does have the 6-speed layout on there too. And so this is the MGW one that was on my Cobra when I bought it. This is what I have on right now. And it has a nice rubbery feel to it. So it's a lot bigger than the stock one. It feels, you know, like it's a lot bigger of a shift knob. And the snake on this one, apparently there was some kind of copyright or something with this that MGW did. And so they now offer just the top portion of the snake head. And to find it like this one with the full snake is a little bit harder. And so these have a set screw in them. So you want to get the little Allen here. It's a 1/8 inch Allen. And so when you put it on, these are nice because you kind of center it. You know, you put the shift knob pretty much all the way on, but then you tighten down the jam nut. And that way it is on there perfectly straight. Otherwise, if you're like me, you've probably run some of these other shift knobs on where you have to take it off and start over again with it turned a quarter of a turn so that it'll end up straight when you're done. So anyway, this was a nice shift knob, and it added to the experience of me first ever driving my Terminator and driving it home and everything. So I'll put it back on like I have recently just to drive the car around. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And shift knobs are something that are fun to play with, easy to switch in and out, and remind us that we still have manual cars for now. So anyway, put in the comments what your preference is. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.